If you are a Sonic fan and have been around the internet for long enough, there's a good chance you've at least heard of a game called Sonic Roboblast 2, or SRB2 for short. It's one of the longest running Sonic fan game projects out there. Hell, the project's now 25 years old now, which is insane for a fan game project. Even now the project's getting updates and the forum is very active. I was playing this even back when I was a child. They didn't even have a finished Knuckles sprite back then, and instead they used this 3D model which just looked all sorts of jank. But I spent a lot of time online playing the racing mode or deathmatch, so it's a game that's near and dear to me. Made by Sonic Team Jr., it is a total conversion mod of the old Doom game. That first-person shooter where you hunt demons somehow got turned into a 3D Sonic game. I still have no idea how they managed that. It has had countless years of fan support, and since it is on the Doom engine, there are years of mods for it, some being maps, characters, or, completely new game modes. One of the more popular mods back then was Mystic Realm, which added a whole new campaign with its own secrets and unlockables. One of these mods was called SRB2 Kart, which turned the 3D platformer into Mario Kart basically. It's one of the more popular mods out there, however it was lacking things like a single player mode, as you can only really play online unless you're really into time trial modes. Now, the team over at Kart Crew have made a new kart racer. It has a full single player mode, and it has loads of unlockables. Along with this, it also adds more mechanics to it to set it apart from the crowd, and has overall changed the feel to it to something completely new. This isn't a sequel to SRB2 Kart. This is Dr. Robotnik's Ring Racers, and the game will make you know that. Ring Racers is a game that will kick your ass if you do not play by its rules. If you go in and play it like Mario Kart, you will not do well. You will need to get to grips with its mechanics. First off, at the start of each race you have the starting grid. Here you can drive around, collect rings, and push other players before the race starts. You need to be careful however, because if you touch the starting line before the race starts, doing so will cause you to fault. This means you have to wait a few seconds after everyone has already ran ahead before you can start. However, if you are sneaky, you can push other players past that line to give you the advantage. It is so satisfying doing that to that one CPU that's been giving you grief for the whole cup. The first one across the line gets a massive speed boost, which depending on your skill level might actually end up hurting you more than actually helping. Across each track you have rings. These kind of work like coins in Mario Kart, as in the more you have, the faster you go. However, unlike in Mario Kart, you can spend rings for a speed boost, which can be used to help you get over steep hills and overtake other players. Then, you have drifting. There are several levels, with the last one giving you a boost which lasts way longer than the others, however, it does take a while to get there. After that, you have the shortcut barriers. These can range from small shortcuts to some pretty big cuts. However, to even take them, you need to be going fast. Once you reach a certain speed level, you get this blue aura around you, which can then be used to bypass the barriers. Without that, you get thrown back, which can cause you to lose time. There are also these jump panels which you can trick off to access certain areas, or to avoid falling into pits. And a butt stomp which can be used to quickly descend. Lastly, we have the spin dash move which can be used to get you out the mud quickly, and a whip attack which you can use when you have no rings to basically just push people away. So, from that list, it's no surprise that when you start off it can be a bit overwhelming. Hell, when I first started playing I could not make heads or tails of it all. It felt like I had to do an entirely new song and dance for each new track. However, once it all clicked, there's nothing quite like it. It is the most rewarding game I've played in a long while. You end up entering this ebb and flow while racing, juggling your ring count and using them when you need that speed boost, tricking off certain panels to get you the advantage, using the correct shortcuts to cut the most out of the track. It all just becomes second nature. However, all these mechanics wouldn't mean much if the track design and characters were not up to snuff. Thankfully, they hit it out the park. starting the game for the first time will drop you into the tutorial. It's pretty long, but honestly it's not that bad, and it goes over most of the mechanics and is a pretty cute tutorial for a fan game. In this game's universe, Eggman and Tails have joined forces to create the Ring Racer project. Why? Not entirely sure, to be honest. And the lore for this fan game is actually pretty damn good. It's not in your face, in fact you really have to go digging to find some little nuggets of lore there, here and there. But for a fan game, it really helps make the world seem that much more lived in. You can leave the tutorial early if you want to, either by using the exit teleporter or by doing a secret race against AI opponents. And then, from there, you're thrust into the main menu. When you're first here, there's not really a whole lot you can do. To unlock things like online multiplayer or mods, you'll need to do at least one single player CPU cup and come within at least the top 3. Unless you use a password, but you're not a filthy cheater, are you? You wouldn't do that, would you? The track design for this game can be a bit of a mixed bag. There are some absolutely fantastic tracks in this game. However, there are about 1 or 2 which make me want to tear my hair out. They're the kind of tracks that you would pick on purpose to ruin everybody else's day. But then again, with over 200 tracks, there are bound to be some that just don't gel well with you. Despite this, the track list itself is great. You have some real deep cuts to not only your Sonic knowledge, but Sega knowledge as well. Here are some members that there was a Sonic popcorn making machine. Well, now you can race in it. Here are some members of one of Sega's forgotten IP, Sakura Wars. Well, these devs certainly haven't forgotten. How about racing in the very cityscape that was in a few of the Sonic promotional pictures that were part of Sonic the Screensaver? There's even a whole GP Cup which is nothing but competitive levels from Sonic 3, which was a great touch and really just goes to show how in tune with the Sonic IPs these devs are. The character selection is also great. You have the usual crowd of Sonic, Tails, Metal Sonic, Knuckles. However, you also have oddballs like Vector Man, Billy Hatcher, Mail from Pomful Mail. And yes, you can even race as a ring racer themselves. Hell, they even got knights in there, and you know how much I love knights. There are even these little followers that chase you around which act as your horn. On top of that, there are over 70 odd spray cans to collect that unlock new colours to use. Honestly, the amount of content in this game that can be unlocked is fantastic. The way to unlock most of these things can range from pretty easy, however, to mind-numbingly hard. For the spray cans, it's simple, you just need to drive over them to collect them. But for the followers and characters, as well as secret modes, you have to jump through a few hoops. I absolutely hated the one that you had to do to unlock Big the Cat, because I'll always get hit by the CPU and fall into the water. Thankfully, if you're bad at games like I am, you can skip these with the use of Chow keys. You get a new key every couple of races. I want to say 10, but I could be wrong. Hi, Future Chaz here from the editing room. I was wrong. It's 5 races, and you can spend them to bypass any quest you really don't want to do. However, to bypass the big quests, you'll need 10 keys and every challenge around it done, so be sure to save up on them keys if you want to skip some of the big challenges. However, if you play online or do a few cups, you'll soon find yourself with loads of keys to spend. Speaking of which, how is the online play in this game? So, you think you mastered the mechanics, you've unlocked a few characters that you feel really good using, and won all the easy cups. I bet you feel really good about yourself. You might even think that you're good at the game. Oh, what's this option? Online play? Surely, I will be just as good as this as I am on the easy mode cups. What could possibly go wrong? Oh good god. Yeah, even after learning everything, the game will still kick your ass. Part of this is due to the weapons. While they are the standard karting fare, there are some which stick out. First off, you've got the super ring. Simple to understand, it just gives you 20 rings off the bat. Then, you have the sneakers. You can get these in packs of 1 or 3, and each one gives you a burst of speed, which is really handy when you're trying to get through a shortcut barrier. Followed by the rocket sneakers, which are kind of like the golden mushrooms from Mario Kart, where it gives you shorter bursts of speeds, but you get more of them. Oh, banana. Robotnik is a simple weapon. You get these balls that rotate around your kart, which gives you a really good defensive edge. However, you can also fling the balls in front of your kart or behind, and they'll bounce off any walls until they hit something. Jaws, or Sharkpedos, are generally the red shells of the game. You'll fling them in front of you and they'll home in on anybody, but you can fling them behind you where it will home in on you, but a bit slower, so you can use that as a way to get people off your tail. Invincibility makes you invincible. Who would have thought that? Then you have the the Ghost. It steals the weapons of anybody who drives into it and gives it to whoever dropped the Ghost behind. Grow does what it says on the tin and makes you shoot up in size, whereas Shrink sends these little wasp enemies onto the track and drop these shrinking rays, which shrinks down anybody who drives into them. However, if you drive into these rays, it will instead make you grow. The Ball Hog chucks bombs both in front or behind you, and if you've got more than one, if you hold down the button, you'll chuck the entirety of your arsenal. The Pogo Stick is a rare find item. You can't get it in the weapon roulette, you can only find it in capsules on the track, and it just gives you a little bounce, so it's a good way to jump over hazards. Then you have the Egg Mark. This annoying weapon basically makes you a ticking time bomb. It disguises itself as an item capsule. However, you can also pass it on to anybody if you don't fancy blowing up. The self-propelled bomb is basically the blue shell of the game. It will home into whoever's in first place and leave them behind these little rings that the people behind can drive into for a little speed boost. However, if the person in first place is skilled enough, they can outrun the bomb or use a thunder shield to get rid of it. The landmine is a weapon that you plant behind you and it will blow up whenever anybody gets close enough to it. The proximity mine is more the same, but it's less precise. The garden top is a weapon where, if used correctly, can decimate other people. However, the learning curve is more of a learning wall. Even now, I still don't fully understand how to use the thing. The flame shield offers you bursts of speed, however, you can burn it out if you use it too much. The bubble shield basically pushes people away from you when used, and if you drop down while having it, you can get a massive speed boost. The thunder shield draws rings into you and can basically be used as a get away from me button in case people get close enough to you, and as previously stated, can get rid of self-propelled bombs. The kitchen sink is an incredibly rare weapon. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen it in gameplay, and when thrown, it will instantly kill whoever it touches. And as a battle mode only item, you have the Gachapon, which is basically a simple lobbing weapon. Nothing really special about it, really. Then lastly, the worst item. I hate it. You will grow to hate it. The goddamn bumper. God, this item sucks so much. It has ruined so many of my runs. Once hit, it won't just stop you. Oh no, that would be too kind. Instead, it flings you, either backwards or forwards. It really depends on which direction you hit it. And it's not just a small amount. Oh no, it's a full-on chuck. And it does not go away. So you can crawl your way back to a good spot. Say you're first and then you go back to last and then back to first again. Then on the next lap, bam, you hit it again. Oh God, I hate it so much. Speaking of the Grand Prix and bullshit difficulty, did you know that, along with all the other things to collect, there are also special stages? Yeah, special stages in a kart racer. And my God, these are hard, but not just hard to play, but hard to get to. You need to get enough points and rings at the end of any cup on normal mode, and it will drag you to the special stage where you have to free it from its claw cage prison. Just you and the claw one-on-one. And while racing, a really nice track plays on in the background. My God, the soundtrack to this game is amazing. Not only do they have songs made just for the game, but the songs that they're taken from other IPs, oh, the soundtrack is top tier. And it just goes to show how much attention to detail the devs have, because not only do you have some really good mechanics, not only do you have a bunch of things to unlock, not only do you have a really meaty single player mode, you have online, you have collectibles, you have special stages. Honestly, it is one of the most packed kart racing games I have ever played. And that's all I really have to say about the game. It is hard, it is unforgivable at times, but my god, it is the most fun I've had playing a kart racer. Not only for all the obscure callbacks to Sonic and Sega game, but the game just feels good to play. Once it clicks, there is really no other kart race that even feels close to it. A lot of people have complained about difficulty, and while I get it, I get the feeling they're trying to play this like Mario Kart, which the game is not. If you play the game expecting a Mario Kart-like experience, the game will wreck you. You need to play it by its own rules. The modding scene for this is also really big. The dev behind Pizza Tower is even making mods for this game, which I cannot wait to play. And as it's on the Doom engine, just about anybody with the proper tools can start making racetracks or characters. It's free. It will run on your fridge possibly. Honestly, it is worth a look. The devs have spent a long time working on this and it shows. And it's maybe personal bias, but man, I'm just happy to have a game where you can lock things in. It gives me this sense of purpose while playing. Sure, I might be losing races, I might lose a GP here or there, but I will return to the main menu and find out that I've unlocked several characters or colours or tracks. So even while you don't make progress, you're still unlocking things. You're still making progress, but just not in the way that you want. Now, what would I do to the game if given the chance? I'm not too sure. I'll probably suggest making the special stages a bit easier to get to. Maybe make the mud a bit easier to get out of, because sometimes it feels like once you're in there, there's no way out. But mainly, the last thing would be, remove the bumper. Please, I beg you, I will do it. Hey guys, thanks for watching me ramble on for 17 odd minutes about a obscure kart racing game made on the Doom engine. This video would have came out sooner, but I was sidetracked by a critically acclaimed MMORPG expansion pack which just came out. Any feedback in regards to the video is greatly appreciated. If you did enjoy the video, please consider checking out my other video based on Night into Dreams. It's good, honest. I'd also like to express my gratitude to those who helped proofread / proof watch the draft of this video. You all are fantastic people. In the meantime, if you like the sound of my voice and want to hear me ramble more, please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps out and it's free. Along with this, I stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday, and I have a Twitter / X account if you want to follow me on there. The links for these will be in the description below. Alternatively, I also have a VOD and gameplay channel, so please consider checking those out as well. But yeah, that's it from me. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you next video, which will hopefully come out sooner.